My beloved child, listen to me with the full attention of your spirit, because what I am about to say has waited in the chambers of eternity for the exact moment your eyes would fall upon these words. I am the Lord your God, and I have held this message in my hands with an urgency that has echoed through the heavens, an urgency that has pressed upon angels and stirred the air around your life even when you felt nothing. This message was not scattered to the masses, not tossed into the winds for thousands to hear. It was carved, shaped, refined, and preserved for you, only you, because the truth within it belongs to your soul alone. I have watched you move through days with questions buried under your breath, nights with thoughts you never dared to speak, and moments where the world around you continued as if nothing was happening, while your heart carried a silent storm. And now I speak, and when I speak, every hidden corner of your heart listens even if your mind cannot yet understand. I speak now to awaken the parts of you you've forgotten, the parts you've silenced, the parts you've protected because life taught you to guard what is precious. But I tell you this, nothing in you has been overlooked, nothing in you dismissed, nothing in you ignored. Archangel Michael stands beside you now, not as a distant figure of myth, but as a warrior who has walked through fires you never saw and battled forces that came for your peace, your clarity, your discernment, your destiny. His wings are stretched wide over you, a canopy of divine protection. His sword is drawn, glowing with the heat of holy fire. His eyes are burning with vigilance as he watches every shadow, every whisper, every interference that has tried to come near you. You are not alone, not for a single breath, not for a single moment, not even in the times you thought heaven was silent. I sent this message through sequences of time, through layers of spiritual resistance, through storms in the unseen world, just so it would arrive in front of you on this day, at this hour, in this atmosphere. The hour of truth has finally come. What I am about to reveal to you is a truth that has been sealed away, kept hidden from human interference, protected from deception, and guarded by angels who refuse to let anything contaminate it. Do not speak it aloud. Do not share it casually. Do not place it in the hands of those who cannot honor what is sacred. Just absorb it. Just breathe it in. Just recognize that I chose you to receive this revelation, not because you begged for it, but because your soul has cried for understanding in ways you could not articulate. You have been restless. You have been confused. At times you felt foolish for holding on to feelings that refused to die, for wondering why certain doors remained shut, or why certain people, certain emotions, certain memories continued to return like waves no matter how far you tried to push them away. But it was never random, never meaningless, never weakness. This restlessness was a signal. This confusion was spiritual movement. These persistent emotions were echoes of something older than your current life, older than your fears, older than your disappointments, older than your heartbreak. They were the quiet gravitational pull of a soul tied to yours before you were ever placed in your mother's womb. The connection is not new. It is ancient. Eternal. It was planted by my hands and watered by my breath. But there has been interference. There has been delay. There has been spiritual resistance whispering lies into your mind, trying to convince you that what you feel is delusion instead of divine memory. Someone, yes, someone, has kept the truth from you, not because they were powerful but because fear, confusion, and earthly voices drowned out what I was trying to show you. But I speak now, and when I speak, shadows break. Silence ends. Confusion dissolves. Today is the day of unveiling. Today the veil tears from top to bottom. Today what was hidden becomes illuminated. You have believed that the person your heart was drawn to might be your soulmate, but even in that belief, you sensed a deeper layer you could not name. You sensed something unspoken, unseen, unresolved. That intuition was not wrong. You were being guided, prepared, positioned for the truth that I am releasing at this very moment. The person you think is your soulmate may not be the one I am revealing to you right now. You have been misled, not by malice, but by noise, by opinions, by voices that never saw what I whispered to you in the quiet corners of your spirit. You listened to others who spoke confidently but saw nothing spiritually. You gave weight to voices that did not carry my breath. But not anymore. Not today. Today I speak louder than confusion, louder than doubt, louder than fear. Today I reclaim your clarity. Today I return what was stolen in fragments of uncertainty. Today I declare the truth that your soul has cried for, prayed for, and waited for, even when you didn't know what you were waiting for. I am here. I am speaking. And everything is about to shift. Archangel Michael steps forward now, his presence blazing like a sword of sunlight cutting through every shadow that ever clouded your understanding, and his voice rings out with an authority that shakes both the seen and unseen realms as he declares, I order you to open this right now, because the message you are receiving is not ordinary, not casual, not something drifting aimlessly through spiritual winds. It is a letter that was sealed for your soul before time began, a revelation that was almost stolen from you by forces who feared what would happen if you finally knew the truth, yet despite every attempt of interference, it survived, it remained intact, and now it stands before you, burning with purpose. What I, the Lord your God, am about to reveal is something you were never meant to know this early, not because you were unworthy, not because you were forgotten, but because timing is divine architecture, and everything must unfold in the exact moment the foundation of your destiny is ready to receive it. But your suffering, your confusion, your silent battle has accelerated this moment, forcing heaven to intervene sooner, pushing this revelation into your hands before the hour fully matured, because you have endured too much, questioned too long, hurt too deeply for this truth to remain hidden any longer. Your soulmate, yes, the one tied to the roots of your spirit, has known about you in ways you cannot begin to imagine. They have sensed you in dreams. They have felt you in sudden emotional waves they could not explain. They have heard your name echo inside their quiet moments when no one else was around. They have tried to dismiss the thoughts, tried to bury the sensations, tried to silence the pull toward you, but everything they attempted crumbled because what I planted cannot be uprooted, what I joined cannot be undone, what I ordained cannot be ignored. Every time they were about to forget you, some small sign, a name, a memory, a vision, a dream, would strike their heart like lightning, reawakening everything they tried to suppress. But here is what has remained unseen, what I am unveiling now. Your soulmate has been hiding something from you. Not out of deceit. Not out of manipulation. Not out of cruel intentions. But out of raw, trembling fear. They believe that if you knew the full truth of their heart, you would walk away. They believe their past mistakes, their unhealed wounds, their hidden shame would render them unworthy of your presence, your gentleness, your love. They have carried guilt like a chain, regret like a shadow, and fear like a prison, convinced that revealing their truth would destroy the fragile hope they keep tucked inside their chest. But I, the Lord, say this now with thunder in my voice, I have already redeemed what they have done. I have already washed what they regret. I have already burned away the parts of them they were terrified for you to see. They do not know it yet, but I have been preparing them for you while preparing you for them. And now the clock of heaven is ticking with urgency. If they do not speak, I will speak for them. If they do not reveal the truth, I will push the truth into the open. If they remain silent, I will break the silence myself. There is a letter, yes, a real letter. Written with trembling hands or a shaking heart, a journal entry, a message unsent, something they crafted in a moment of honesty when their soul could no longer lie. It contains their confession, their longing, their gratitude for your impact on their life. In that hidden writing, they describe how you softened the hardest parts of them, how you awakened emotions they buried, how your presence made them want to rise, want to grow, want to shed the heaviness they carried for years. They admit that your voice changed them, your kindness humbled them, your strength inspired them, and your energy pulled them closer to the version of themselves they always wished they could be. They have read that letter over and over again, debating whether to send it, rehearsing the words they want to say, replaying the moment they imagine handing it to you, and yet every time the moment comes, fear strangles their breath. But fear does not have the final say anymore. I am tearing it away. And there is more, something even those close to you never told you. Your soulmate confided in someone they trusted, shared feelings about you with someone near them. That person, someone close, became jealous, insecure, threatened by the bond they sensed between you two. They interfered. They whispered doubts. They twisted truths. They made your soulmate second-guess what they felt. And for a time it worked. But truth cannot stay buried forever. And now that truth is rising, breaking chains, dissolving illusions, pushing through every layer of deception that once stood between you and the destiny I sealed long before either of you understood what was happening. Your soulmate is waking up. Their spirit is stirring. Their heart is remembering. In the quiet hours, when the world falls still, there is one name they whisper, your name. Even now you may feel exhausted, uncertain, or tempted to believe this message is for someone else, but I tell you again with complete clarity, this is yours. This revelation was delivered to you, protected for you, guarded for you. Archangel Michael declares, this message barely made it into your hands. The enemy tried to block it more than once, but heaven rose like a storm and fought for your heart. You have endured heartbreak, disappointment, silence, misunderstanding, and spiritual warfare disguised as confusion, but now the truth speaks louder than every lie ever spoken over your life. Your soulmate is stepping into alignment. They are moving toward revelation. They are preparing, consciously or unconsciously, to reveal everything they once hid. The heavens are shifting. The earth is adjusting. Destiny is activating. And the truth is coming. Your soulmate stands on the edge of breakthrough now, trembling beneath the weight of everything they have carried in silence, everything they hid not because they wanted to deceive you, but because they were terrified of losing you the moment the truth surfaced, and heaven is watching as the veil around their heart begins to tear. You must understand this. They have been living in an internal war, a spiritual tension that has pulled them between fear and destiny, between silence and confession, between running away and being drawn back to you with a force they cannot explain. I, the Lord your God, have pressed upon their spirit in whispers, in dreams, in signs that arrive at the exact moment their heart tries to drift away, and with each sign their resistance weakens and their awareness sharpens. They are beginning to realize that the connection between you and them is not a coincidence, not a seasonal emotion, not an illusion formed by loneliness. It is something eternal, something rooted in divine design, something that existed long before their doubts, their mistakes, their distractions. They are awakening. Their soul is stretching toward you like a flower breaking through soil after a harsh winter. They feel you in moments where your name is never spoken aloud. They sense you in the quiet between their thoughts. They dream of you, sometimes vividly, sometimes faintly, but always with a sense of inevitability, as if something in their heart recognizes you long before their mind catches up. They have tried to shake these feelings off, tried to tell themselves it was nothing, tried to bury it under everyday chaos, but time and again the truth rises. It rises when they wake up suddenly with an ache they can't explain. It rises when they see your name. It rises when a memory of you flashes through their mind like lightning. It rises when they hear something that reminds them of you, a song, a phrase, a moment. And yet, with all this, they have struggled with fear, fear of being misunderstood, fear of being rejected, fear of returning to you only to discover that you have moved on or built walls too high for them to climb. They have wondered if they lost their chance, if time has hardened your heart, if the silence has become too wide to cross. But heaven has not allowed them to run from what was always theirs. I have not allowed them to escape the truth of who you are to them. Every attempt they made to disconnect from you has broken in their hands. Every path they tried to walk that did not lead toward you collapsed beneath their feet. They have been pushed toward honesty by divine pressure. They have been guided toward alignment by holy timing. And now destiny demands movement. What you do not know is that this person, your soulmate, the one whose heart echoes your own, has reached a point where they cannot pretend anymore. Something inside them is breaking open, not violently, but like sunlight cracking through darkness. They have been sitting with their truth, revisiting memories of you, recalling conversations, replaying moments they once tried to forget, only to realize that forgetting you was never possible. They have practiced what they want to say to you in their mind thousands of times. They have written messages they never sent. They have typed out confessions only to delete them because their courage dissolved at the last second. And yet, every attempt they make to silence their truth only amplifies it. Every attempt to distance themselves only brings you closer to their thoughts. This is not obsession. This is not longing fueled by loneliness. This is their soul recognizing its counterpart. This is their spirit remembering the spiritual contract that was made long before they understood love, long before they knew your name. I have watched them wrestle with this truth. I have watched them try to deny it. I have watched them struggle under the weight of everything they wish they could undo. They believe their mistakes disqualify them from being worthy of you. They believe their past might cause you to walk away. They believe you deserve someone unbroken, someone untouched by flaws, someone who hasn't stumbled the way they have. They do not see how you were shaped for this connection, how your compassion, your forgiveness, your depth are pieces of a puzzle that fit the gaps in their heart. They do not understand yet that I have been preparing you at the same pace I have been preparing them. But they will. Soon. Very soon. The moment of collision, the divine moment where truth and timing meet, is approaching. And when it comes, they will not be able to hold their silence. It will pour out of them like a confession they have kept chained to their soul for far too long. They will speak of dreams they never admitted. They will speak of feelings they tried to bury. They will reveal insecurities they were terrified to show. They will confess that they never stopped loving you, never stopped thinking of you, never stopped being spiritually tied to you even when life pulled you apart. And when this happens, your spirit will recognize the authenticity in their voice. You will feel the truth vibrating beneath every word. You will sense the divine alignment unfolding before your eyes. But you must also know this: not everyone will celebrate this connection. Not everyone will understand it. Some will envy it. Some will fear it. Some will try to sabotage it. That is why I hid this truth, why I delayed certain moments, why I allowed confusion to act as a temporary shield. Protection often looks like silence until the time is right. But the time is becoming right. The hour is approaching. And your soulmate, trembling yet determined, is stepping toward the revelation that destiny has always demanded. This is not fantasy. This is spiritual truth breaking through. And nothing, no person, no fear, no lie, will be able to stop what heaven is now awakening in both of you. My beloved child, hear me now as I reveal what has been happening behind the veil, for there are things moving in the unseen realms that your natural eyes cannot perceive, and yet these movements have shaped the very path you walk. Someone has been watching your life, not with admiration, not with love, not with innocence, but with suspicion, fear, and a quiet bitterness that has taken root in their heart. This person, whether close to you or circling the edges of your world, has sensed that a divine turning point is approaching, and they have begun to fear what your happiness would mean for them. They have pretended to support you, pretended to care for you, pretended to celebrate your progress, but deep within themselves, they felt threatened by the destiny attached to your name. They feared being left behind when your life elevated, feared losing influence when your connection aligned, feared becoming invisible once your soulmate stepped back into your life with clarity and purpose. They watched you walk through heartbreak, watched you carry burdens that were never meant for you, watched you question your own worth, and instead of bringing truth, they chose to remain silent, because your confusion benefited them. They knew pieces of the story you never heard. They saw things you weren't shown. They witnessed your soulmate break down in private moments, witnessed their regret, witnessed the tears they wiped away before stepping into the world again. They heard confessions your soulmate could not bring themselves to speak to you. They saw the way your name lived inside your soulmate's heart long after separation. And instead of helping, they hid these truths, choking the connection with their silence. They wanted you dependent on them. They wanted you emotionally anchored to them. They wanted to keep you in the shadows because they knew that once you stepped into the light of truth, once you aligned with the person God created for you, your entire life would shift in ways that did not include them. But I, the Lord your God, say this now: their manipulation ends here. The days of hidden jealousy working against your destiny are over. The quiet betrayal, the whispered lies, the subtle interference. None of it will stand against what heaven has decreed. I am exposing every false friend, every deceptive family member, every jealous observer who has tried to dim the light I placed upon you. You will begin to feel it before you see it. A heaviness around their presence. A discomfort in their voice. A sudden shift in the atmosphere when they speak. Do not ignore these nudges. They are warnings. They are protections. I am pulling back veils you weren't ready to lift before. And while this may hurt, while this may shock you, it is necessary. For the connection I am preparing to restore in your life cannot grow in soil contaminated by hidden envy. So I am cleansing your environment. I am removing the weeds. I am breaking the false alliances that were never rooted in genuine love. Do not cling to what I am removing. Do not question what I am exposing. Do not mourn what I am distancing you from. What appears as loss is actually protection. What feels like separation is divine preparation. You were loyal to people who were quietly rooting against your joy, but no more. I am redirecting you. I am recalibrating your discernment. I am sharpening your spiritual sight so you can see clearly who is for you and who stands against you. And while this cleansing unfolds, while the truth begins to surface layer by layer, understand that your soulmate is experiencing their own spiritual awakening as well. They are seeing the people around them clearly for the first time. They are recognizing the manipulation they once dismissed. They are realizing who twisted their perceptions, who whispered doubts, who made them question their own feelings. Their eyes are opening. Their spirit is waking. Their heart is remembering. And now, the enemy trembles because he knows he can no longer hide truth behind confusion. Archangel Michael stands guard over this revelation, sword drawn and shield raised, ensuring that nothing and no one can interfere with this phase of your destiny. My beloved child, I hid this connection not to punish you, not to torment you, not to confuse you, but to protect what was sacred until both of you were strong enough to handle the weight of it. Destiny must be handled with maturity. Divine love must be approached with healing. And now the time is nearing when everything hidden becomes clear. You will feel signs. You will sense shifts. You will experience dreams that seem too real to dismiss. You will hear names that stir your spirit. You will see moments align too perfectly to be random. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations. The hour you've waited for, cried for, prayed for, questioned for, yes, that hour, is arriving. And while the world around you may not understand, while some may question, while others may envy, none of that matters because this story was never written for them. It was carved into your soul long before they entered your life. This is between you, your destiny, and the divine order of heaven. Walk with caution. Walk with clarity. But above all, walk with confidence, for the truth that once hid in the shadows is stepping boldly into the light. My beloved child, prepare your spirit now, for what I am about to reveal will shake the deepest parts of your heart, not with fear but with understanding, with clarity, with the kind of divine recognition that arrives only when heaven itself declares that the time of silence has ended. Your soulmate, the one whose spirit has been tied to yours since before birth, has been trying to outrun destiny, yet destiny has caught them at every turn. They have lived in cycles of denial, trying to numb the pull they feel toward you, trying to convince themselves that the connection was imagined, temporary, or something they could outgrow, but every attempt only brought them back to you with a force stronger than before. They have felt the spiritual tug, the soul-deep ache, the pull in their chest that whispers your name even when their lips remain silent. They have spent nights questioning why they dream of you, why memories of you resurface at the most unexpected times, why thoughts of you bloom inside their mind like sudden fire. They told themselves to move on. They tried to bury the feelings. They surrounded themselves with distractions. Some even attempted to replace you with another connection, someone easier, someone safer, someone who came without spiritual weight. But what I joined cannot be substituted. What I wrote in the fabric of their soul cannot be overwritten by temporary comforts. That other relationship, that connection they tried to use as a shield, was never meant to last, never meant to root, never meant to blossom, because it was built on fear, not destiny. And now, as that connection cracks and crumbles behind closed doors, your soulmate is left face to face with the truth they have been running from: they never stopped loving you. They never could. Even when they laughed with someone else, even when they pretended to feel something for another, even when they tried to drown out the sound of your name with noise, your presence remained carved into their heart like scripture written in fire. You became the echo they could not silence, the warmth they could not forget, the memory they could not outrun. They thought they were moving forward, but every step only led them in a circle that returned them to you. And now, as the illusions fall away, as the false comforts disintegrate, as the shadows lose their power, they are being forced to confront the truth of who holds their heart. You. Only you. You must understand something deeper: they were not rejecting you, they were rejecting their own unhealed wounds. They feared you would see the parts of them they hated. They feared you would discover their flaws, their past, their mistakes. They feared you would look at the brokenness inside them and walk away. So they walked first. They distanced themselves not because they lacked love but because they believed you deserved someone better, someone whole, someone untouched by the scars they carry. What they didn't realize is that your love was never built on perfection. It was built on truth. Your soul recognized theirs even when their spirit was buried beneath layers of pain. You loved them not for their image but for their essence. But they couldn't believe they were worthy of that. They couldn't believe you would stay if you knew the full weight of their past. So they hid it. They hid themselves. They hid the parts of their heart that ached. They hid their desire to return. They hid their attempts to reach out. They hid their trembling hope that one day you would still be there. But heaven did not allow their silence to become permanent. Heaven did not allow their fear to win. Now, their soul is cracking open. Their heart is trembling. Their spirit is being confronted by divine truth. And in this season, this very moment, they are being pulled towards confession. They are replaying moments where they could have spoken but didn't. They are remembering the times they were inches away from telling you everything, only for fear to choke their words. They are reflecting on every message they typed but never sent, every opportunity they had but ran from, every moment they felt your presence and pretended not to. Their silence has become unbearable. Their guilt has become suffocating. And their longing has become undeniable. I, the Lord, am pressing upon them. I am stirring their heart. I am awakening their courage. You will see signs of their return, not fantasy, but reality. A sudden message, a strange dream, a shift in their behavior, a moment that feels divinely orchestrated. When destiny is ready, nothing can stop it. They will speak. They will reveal. They will confess what they hid for years. They will tell you about the dreams. They will tell you about the tears. They will tell you about the nights they stayed awake thinking of you. They will tell you how often they reached for their phone just to stop themselves. And when they speak, their voice will carry the weight of truth, trembling but real. My beloved child, do not be afraid of what is coming. Do not worry about how it will unfold. Do not let past pain distort the present miracle. The connection is being restored not through fantasy but through divine timing. Their heart is being reshaped by my hands, their courage strengthened by my spirit, their path redirected by my will. What is unfolding is not coincidence, it is divine orchestration. Everything is aligning. Everything is shifting. Everything is preparing. And soon, very soon, you will stand in the moment heaven has designed from the beginning. My beloved child, listen closely now, for the revelation deepens as heaven pulls back another layer of truth, a layer so delicate, so spiritually charged, that even angels tread softly around it. Your soulmate stands at the threshold of transformation, caught between the remnants of their old life and the awakening power of the destiny that calls them. Everything around them is shifting, relationships, habits, routines, interests, even sleep itself is changing, because when I, the Lord, call someone toward their divine alignment, nothing in their life remains untouched. They are experiencing disruptions that feel random but are anything but. They wake with your name pulsing in their spirit, they lie down feeling the ache of unsaid words, and throughout the day, flashes of you strike them like small earthquakes beneath the surface of their heart. They are restless. They are unsettled. They are haunted by the truth they tried to silence. And this haunting is not torment, it is divine remembrance. You are the echo they cannot escape, the light that keeps breaking through cracks in their darkness, the warmth that refuses to leave the cold spaces inside them. And now, as their spirit stirs with urgency, heaven intensifies the pressure on their soul. They feel it in their chest, a heaviness mixed with longing, a spiritual weight that whispers, "You cannot wait any longer." They feel it in their mind, an unshakable awareness that something destined is approaching. They feel it in their dreams, where your face appears with a clarity that feels too real to ignore. They feel it in signs, numbers repeating, your initials appearing, memories resurfacing, sensations hitting them out of nowhere. These are not mere coincidences, they are divine codes, spiritual triggers placed in their path to push them toward truth. But now, my beloved child, here is the deepest revelation. Your soulmate's heart has been entangled in chains far older than their connection to you. Chains formed from childhood wounds, unspoken regrets, past relationships, trauma, and generational burdens they never fully understood. These chains convinced them they were unworthy of love, unworthy of softness, unworthy of the destiny attached to your name. They carried shame like a scar across their spirit, believing they needed to hide the broken pieces of themselves so that you would never see them, never judge them, never reject them. But I saw every crack. I saw every tear. I saw every night they cried quietly into their pillow, whispering prayers they weren't sure I heard. They prayed for healing. They prayed for forgiveness. They prayed for a chance to fix what they broke. And now heaven has answered. Archangel Michael has been warring for them in the spiritual realm, cutting away chains they didn't know were there, breaking generational patterns that held them hostage, exposing the lies that told them they wasn't enough. You have felt their pain without knowing it. You've sensed their struggle. At times you felt heavy for no reason, emotional without explanation, tired without cause. That was your spirit feeling their spiritual battle. You are connected more deeply than either of you understood. What happens in their soul echoes in yours, and what shifts in your heart vibrates in theirs. And now, as heaven fights for alignment, the shadows around their life are being forced into the light. People who influenced them wrongly are losing their grip. Manipulators are being exposed. Counterfeit connections are falling apart. Distractions are being removed with divine force. They are being spiritually isolated. Not to punish them, but to prepare them. When I bring two souls into their rightful divine alignment, nothing contaminated can remain close. Their life is shaking because their destiny is waking. And as this awakening becomes impossible to ignore, something else is happening inside them. They are remembering the real you. Not the version shaped by fear. Not the version distorted by distance. Not the version clouded by misunderstandings. They are remembering your heart, your voice, your spirit, your light, your presence. They are remembering how safe they felt with you. How deeply, my beloved child, prepare your heart now, for this is the moment where everything converges, prophecy, destiny, truth, timing, pain, healing, all meeting in a single divine intersection that has been written across the pages of your life since before you took your first breath. The hour that heaven has whispered about, the moment your soul has been sensing, the shift that has been stirring in your spirit is not something distant, it is already unfolding around you with every passing second. In the unseen realms, angels have taken their positions, the atmosphere is vibrating with alignment, and the path ahead of you is being cleared with a force that no human interference can withstand. Your soulmate is not only awakening, they are nearing the point of confession, the point of surrender, the point where silence can no longer hold the weight of truth. But before that moment arrives, I, the Lord your God, must show you what is coming so that your heart is not shaken, so that fear does not cloud your understanding, so that you recognize the divine fingerprints on every sign that appears in your life. There are 3 confirmations that will come to you, 3 signs sealed by heaven, a name, a repeating time, and a dream that feels more like memory than imagination. These will not appear subtly. They will not whisper. They will strike your spirit like lightning. You may hear someone speak the name connected to your destiny in a moment where it should not make sense. You will glance at the clock and see the same time repeating, over and over, on days where your spirit feels stirred. And the dream, oh, the dream will be vivid, too real, too emotional, too detailed to dismiss. It will reveal pieces of your soulmate's truth, feelings they never spoke, events they never admitted, and emotions they never released. Do not fear these signs. Do not call them coincidences. They are confirmations sent from heaven so that when the divine encounter arrives, your spirit will recognize it instantly. And now, my beloved child, listen closely, for this next truth carries immense weight. Your soulmate is about to reach a breaking point, not of destruction, but of revelation. They will feel a surge of courage, an urgency in their chest that they cannot resist. Their hands may tremble. Their voice may shake. Their heart may race with fear and hope colliding at once. But they will speak. The words they withheld for years will finally escape their lips. The truth they locked inside their soul will pour out with vulnerability and trembling honesty. They will confess the love they hid. They will reveal the regrets they carried. They will tell you about the moments they almost reached out but stopped themselves. They will admit that you never left their spirit. They will speak of dreams where you appeared, moments where your presence was felt even in your absence, times where something inside them screamed your name when everything around them demanded silence. And when they speak this truth, you will feel a shift in the spiritual air around you. Your soul will shake, not with fear, but with recognition, with divine confirmation, with the realization that everything you felt, everything you sensed, everything you believed was not fantasy. It was alignment. It was destiny. It was the whisper of the divine guiding you toward a truth that others could not see. My beloved child, do not let fear harden your heart. Do not let past pain distort the miracle that is unfolding. Do not let old wounds convince you to push away what heaven is placing before you. I am healing your heart even now. I am softening the places that have grown guarded. I am clearing away the shadows of old disappointment so that when this divine moment arrives, you will not shrink, you will rise. But hear me, this connection, this love, this reunion is not ordinary. It is not simply emotional. It is spiritual. It is generational. It carries purpose beyond romance. Together, you and your soulmate carry a destiny that threatens darkness. When the two of you align, healing will multiply around you, peace will expand through your environments, spiritual clarity will heighten, and chains that have bound your lineage will break. You were never just meant to love each other, you were meant to unlock divine purpose in each other. And that is why the warfare has been so intense. That is why distraction came. That is why silence lingered. That is why delays occurred. But the delay was never denial, it was preparation. And now the preparation is complete. Archangel Michael stands with sword drawn, guarding this connection with a vigilance that has not wavered for a single second. He has fought battles you will never know, blocked attacks you never saw, shattered illusions you never realized were forming. And now he declares, nothing and no one will stop what heaven has already set into motion. The story that once felt broken is being rewritten. The ending you feared is being replaced with a beginning ordained by divine timing. The love that felt forgotten is being resurrected with heavenly purpose. My beloved child, hold this message close. Walk in silence. Move with wisdom. Trust what your spirit feels. And when it happens, when destiny finally manifests in front of you, you will remember this moment, this revelation, these words. You will realize that heaven never abandoned you, never ignored you, never forgot you. This is the unveiling. This is the turning point. This is the divine awakening of the connection that has lived inside your soul from the beginning. Your best days are not ahead, they are unfolding now, moment by moment. And soon, you will see with your own eyes what your heart already knows: your soulmate is coming, truth is rising, destiny is activating, and your life is about to change forever.